doesn't exist. I use the any function here, although the all function or a for loop could work as well. Whoa, did I just mention the for else function and not explain it? Yes I did. This is the explanation. See, it's less about the for loop and more about the else statement. If you're watching this video, you're likely unfamiliar with else statements, despite using it many times as part of if statement. Else is its own thing that's tied to a control structure. It means that if something else did or did not want, execute this else block. In the case of if statements, if the conditions were not met, else would run instead as a guarantee. In a try except function, if the try block was complete and no exceptions raised, else would run as a guarantee. This is where else is most commonly used, hence I'm going to be talking about it with for loops instead, as that doesn't get as much attention. The logic with for else is basically the inverse as while else. When I say inverse, it's not really the inverse, there's a lot more nuance than that. Anyways, when it comes down to for loops, the else statement only runs if the loop finishes naturally, as in no breaks occurred. So let's see a base case for it. Here I have a list of usernames and I want to add a new user. As a normal for loop works, I iterate through every item in the list and check if it's already taken. If so, I break out of the loop. But clearly, Natalia isn't in the list, meaning the for loop ended naturally. So the else statement was called. Let me show you another simple example before I get onto what I showed in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to be considering this part of the tutorial. So we have a target variable called 6 and a repeat variable called r. That's just so I can repeat the for loop and end it when I want to end it basically. So that's irrelevant to the actual for else. We do have a list of numbers stored in the variable, and the for loop works like this. For every n in numbers, so for every number, every integer in that list, if the number is the target, which is 6, then you can print found and you can break out of it. However, if that is never called, then it's clear that the number 6 was never inside of this, so the else is ran and not found is printed out. So this is a snippet of a small project. It's that small Python video I made just before this one. You don't need to watch it to understand, but just for context. Here I'm iterating over every dictionary in a list of dictionaries, and I'm trying to change one of the keys from false to true. If successful, the program continues on, but if the break is never called, meaning that the dictionary was never found, the else statement would kick in and nothing of the dictionary would change. The rest of the program would run as intended after. There's really not much to the for else loop, but there is the while else loop that I mentioned earlier in the video. And to stop this from becoming too bloated, I decided to make a separate video. You can click on it on screen. If it's not there, be sure to subscribe so you get notified when I do upload it. Thank you.